Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq, coming to you live from Consensus in Austin, Texas. Joining us for this segment, we have Mark Long, CEO of SHRAPNEL. We're here to discuss gaming and Web3 and how the space is continuing to evolve. Mark, it's great to have you back on the show. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Thanks, Jill.
All right. It's not your first rodeo. You've been doing this for 26 years, right?
Yes.
It came to fruition with the help of blockchain, actually. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, well, I have developed 32 titles in that period of time on everything from Sega Genesis to Oculus Rift. But when I first saw Axie Infinity and was blown away by its market cap, I was like, what is this about? And I'm an OG crypto investor, but was kind of dismissive of altcoins and just became radicalized by what was happening in gaming and Web3.
How has it evolved as a designer, as a creator of these games, starting out 26 years ago, into how, I mean, they're bigger than real life, these games now.
Yeah, they are. They're an entire lifestyle, right? The big difference for me, the reason I became evangelized with Web3 is in the last 10 years, we've gone from getting in your car, driving to a store and buying a disc, to everything's an in-app purchase on a free-to-play game for the most part. But you never really own anything you buy. And the currency that you use, virtual currencies go all the way back to Mario, right?
Right.
Gold tokens. You're never able to use those anywhere else. And so Web3 unlocks that potential.
And you're really prioritizing a community-first approach with the gaming that you're developing.
Yeah, and that's interesting too. Competitive first-person shooters can actually be a very toxic community. That's something to be concerned about from day one. What we see with Web3 is you're allowed to, or enabling the community to align with the developer in a really coherent way. And I'll give you an example. One of the things we're doing with Web3 is discovery. So if you think about Roblox, there's millions of games made by kids in Roblox, but they really only play about 3 or 5 of them. And part of the reason is there's no way for a kid to promote his game for other kids to discover it. But in SHRAPNEL, if you and I love this one map that this team created, we can stake tokens against that map and promote it, curate for the community. And then we are rewarded for that curation.
Why do you think VCs and investors are backing SHRAPNEL? Why are they attracted to gaming within the Web3 space?
Well, VCs love money.
Yes, they do.
So we all see Web3 as the next evolution in monetization. Free-to-play was an interesting threshold. I like to remind people when the App Store first came out and we were in a price discovery phase, are games $14 on mobile, or are they $2? And then a game called Mega Jump came out and it was free, the first free-to-play game. Within 10 months, the App Store had entirely shifted over to free-to-play. And so the consensus in our community is the same will happen with Web3. It'll be triggered by regulation. So we're trying to we have this blue ocean of opportunity. We're trying to be one of the first.
What's the significance of cross-media storytelling in today's interconnected digital world?
Yeah, it's sometimes called transmedia. It's something we're definitely focused on. I think today, to be a successful major franchise, you have to think about other media. I probably, like you, think about Oppenheimer before it came out. Like, I kind of knew who Oppenheimer was, but do you remember the discovery phase that we went through? Like, I'm going to wiki this guy because I'm interested. Why is this movie being made about him? So we're kind of information hunter-gatherers now beforehand. And so you need to be in all these other media to be successful as a big franchise. Then of course you have Fallout, The Last of Us, Sonic. Game adaptations are finally being successful.
I think part of that success too is you want to break that negative connotation around blockchain, gaming, and because this is just the way that gaming is going, but you also want to have positive attributes to it as well.
Right.
How are you breaking down those barriers?
Well, first of all, I want to say gamers have a legit beef about this. They don't know anything about NFTs except that people are spending $50,000 on a monkey picture, right? And then a major publisher comes out with a pair of pants that you have to grind for 60 hours to even get and pay $19 for. To a regular gamer, it just feels like overreach. Like, dude, I paid for this premium title, $70. Now I have to do season subscription pass to keep playing with my friends. And now you want me to buy this NFT thing that I don't even understand? So part of it is poor communication to the community, but we really don't need to. You don't need to educate players about Web3. It's always about, is the game fun? And if it's fun and my friends are playing it, then I'll play it too.
This is an amateur question, but how long does it take from concept to being available to the masses to develop and create and design a game?
Well, AAA games typically are multi-year. Like,
yeah.
Think about GTA 6.
It's almost like making a movie.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it really is. And they're approaching those kind of, or we're approaching those kind of budgets. But that's the threshold today.
And like how many people are on a team? How many people does it take to execute and build one of these?
They typically are in the hundreds.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think is next for blockchain gaming?
I'm really excited to play kind of the top 5 off the grid, with Neil Blomkamp, one of my favorite directors, is the creative director there. Dead Drop, another FPS, is creatively driven by Dr. Disrespect, who's just fucking bananas. And I think he's directing that game in all kinds of ways that are unexpected. There's Wild Card, which is a fun digital battle game, and Metalcore.
We need to get our producers in studio and film how all this is done, because this is completely fascinating. Mark, great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. And thanks for joining me from Consensus. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.